relived by holidaymakers who really should have been given a wider berth.
It was definitely a near-death experience.
They say opposites attract, but when it comes to holidays, it can be a source of tension for a lot of couples.
Caravanners are a bit of a type, aren't they?
You could always tell if there's a slightly reluctant partner to going out caravanning.
If you're into luxury, then caravanning, it's a choice.
And for chiropractor Aaron and marketing assistant and content creator Candice from Perth, the luxury versus rugged debate was a familiar one.
I love my creature comforts.
Candice, if we're looking for a hotel room, she almost always demands there's a spa in there. It needs to have the biggest bed you can possibly get your hands on.
So camping and all that sort of thing was so not my thing before we met.
From my perspective, a tent and the sky is fine.
Well, he does have the spine for a camp bed.
Lovely couple.
He likes a bit of rough. I like a bit of luxury. Let's see what happens.
The couple even documented their vacation compromising for social media.
It's quite fun, really, to say that you can make those memories together.
So when they were invited on a camping holiday in a remote spot on the Australian coast, they compromised.
I ended up saying to him, I'm never camping in a tent again.
Candice said she'd settled for a caravan.
And I had never stepped foot inside a caravan prior to this. So it was a new experience for me.
Give it a go. Give caravans a chance.
But caravans can be pricey. So for their first foray, they kept it in the family and borrowed a caravan from Aaron's uncle. The couple had a 3-week trip of a lifetime planned and excitedly set off.
The plan on the holiday was to try and form some of the best memories of our lives.
3 different scuba dives, a humpback whale experience, all these activities.
Driving from Perth to Calbarria, it's about 2 days worth of driving. We were driving just past Gin, which is about 150 kilometres north of Perth, and the trailer started to sway.
I'd never experienced anything like that before. So I turned to Aaron and I was like, is this supposed to happen?
We got a bit of a sway up due to some crosswinds.
Started freaking out.
When you're towing a caravan, there's all sorts of things that can go wrong.
Such a difficult thing to tow a caravan, just in general.
You've got a big unit on the back of the car, which is much taller than the car itself.
People think it probably is easy in a straight line, but you get so much effect from the wind.
So they've got a single axle caravan. Once it starts to snake, as it's called, it's going to be very tricky to get back on track.
Can also be a bit intimidating, actually.
And he was like, no, it's fine. You just speed up a little bit and it straightens out. And it was fine after that.
It wasn't until 2 hours later that they experienced a sense of deja vu.
About 2 hours into the trip was when we experienced the second wobble.
So I wasn't concerned the second time.
So Aaron started doing what he did the first time. He sped up.
My advice would be not to speed up, but to actually just ease off the accelerator, let the outfit slow down gradually.
But the next thing we started doing was driving down a hill.
He's just been caught out.
The wobble got worse and worse.
Well, I'm afraid physics doesn't help your cause in that situation.
You could feel the back wheels losing traction on the car as we started to go.
It was at that point that I started to get a little bit panicky.
As Aaron fought for control, the couple discovered they had company.
A road train came the other way. Trailers on the back of the truck, they can be 100 metres long. So you're looking out for these huge vehicles that are going past and they're pushing a lot of air off the sides too. At that point, I thought, okay, I've got no pages left in the rule book here. I don't know what I'm going to do about this.
Within seconds, the couple's worst nightmare became a reality.
All hell breaks loose.
Went up on our sides and we flipped twice from that point.
It's the scariest, longest 15 seconds of your life.
Oh my gosh.
We had no control.
I had this feeling of everything slowing down and thinking, this could be it.
It's crazy.
How terrifying.
Miraculously, Candice and Aaron walked away from the accident.
I think all of us were in shock. There was actually a car that was behind us and they come running up to us. They all looked white as ghosts and they said to us, we thought we were going to be wiping your bodies off the road.
They were so lucky to come out of that unscathed.
Unbelievable.
You could see by the damage on the front pillar of the vehicle how close it had come to stoving in Candace's head.
A miracle that nobody was hurt.
Someone's watching above them.
The Caravan itself was just torn to shreds.
It looked like a bomb had gone off inside the Caravan.
I couldn't believe it. It was almost like it was just made of paper and it had disintegrated.
One thing that really does strike you is actually how essentially flimsy caravans are.
Never seen anything like it.
You can see their belongings strewn across the road.
My goodness.
The accident put a stop to the entire trip.
The couple's dream holiday was over before it had started, and the damage was extensive, mentally, physically, and financially.
So I called my uncle.
But then imagine having to make that call to your uncle.
Thankfully, his uncle's insurance covered the cost, but Aaron wasn't so lucky.
The worst thing to come out of it was that the car was written off. The car was in between two insurance plans at the time and they didn't pay out on my car, so there was a $25,000 hole in the pocket.
And Candice was left with debilitating pain.
After the accident, I would have been at least for a month had whiplash. I've never experienced anything like that before. Excruciating headaches, just the neck pain and the back pain. It took weeks to recover from that.
And although the physical injuries have healed, the psychological scars are all too present.
Even now, almost a year after the accident, I still do have guilt over a number of things. Is there anything that I could have done differently, should have done differently?
And Aaron's dreams of more outdoorsy holidays in the outback have also taken a knock.
I will never get into a car towing a caravan again. I can say that unequivocally.
When something like this happens, you could understand that you wouldn't necessarily want to go caravanning again.
Even just thinking about it gives me, like, heart palpitation.
But everyone says to you, oh, you're so lucky you got away from it. It would have been luckier if it just didn't happen. But, I mean, I'll take what I can get.